Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Bhaktavijaya190. As you may remember, the Lord said that he enjoyed Janabai's poetry. Therefore, he took a pen in his hand and sat writing them down. Just then, Yaneshwar suddenly came to the temple to make his namaskars to the god. The holder of the Sharanga bow, Krishna, seeing him, gave thought to what he was doing. He hid away his ink, pen, and paper. The Supreme Brahm, the root of all joy, now manifested a most wonderful deed. Yanadev came to him and placed his head upon the god's lotus feet. He exclaimed, "Oh, Vanamali, Krishna, sitting here by thyself, what art thou writing?" Hearing his question, Pandurang replied, "I'm writing down the verses of Jani." As Sri Ranga said this, Yanadev burst out laughing. He said, "Victory, victory to the husband of Rukmini. Jani is composing verses in thy praise. Thou art writing them down in a book. I am much surprised at this. Although one has visited many sacred bathing places and has given much wealth and charity, performed many austerities, and observed several religious vows, yet to speak of them very much with one's own lips is not proper. Thy wonderful deeds, O Vanamali Krishna, must be many in the world, but thou shouldst never write them down on a piece of paper. O husband of Rukmini, it is Saraswati who writes of thy deeds. The Vedas and the Shastras proclaim thy goodness. The Puranas honor thee with song. Vyasa, Valmiki, and other great poets have described thee, and then attained their final bliss. And now, if thou dost write down the verses of Jani, the poets will laugh at thee." Hearing him say this, the cloud-dark Krishna replied, "The verses of Jani are full of love. I feel them today exceedingly interesting, and as they fell upon my ears, I sat down to write them. But the moment I saw you, I felt a hesitation in my mind, and so I made haste and hid the paper and ink. But I do not understand how you understood what I was doing." Yanadev replied, "O life of the world, ornament of thy bhaktas, aside from us, there is no one who knows thy inner thoughts. It is a dutiful wife alone who understands the thoughts of her husband. Only an infant can understand the love of its mother. Just as the delightful words of the poet are appreciated only by an expert, and as one who has knowledge understands the knowledge of philosophic books through experience. O cloud-dark, complexioned one, as it is the chakor bird who fully understands the moon, so it is the mind alone, O Krishna, that understands the objects of the sense organs. So we always easily know thy secret thoughts." Yanadev, having said this, the god laughed. Krishna and Yanadev go to Nama's house. Yanadev then exclaimed, "O Lord of the world, let us go to meet Nama. I will tell him how great thy love for Jani is." The husband of Rukmini replied, "I agree. That was already in my mind." Then, taking one another by the hand, they hastened along. Yanadev and the holder of the disc, Krishna, came to the house of the Vishnu Das, Nama. They embraced one another and sat down upon an easy mat. When Vanamali arrived at Nama's house, an assembly of saints had already gathered there, just as when a king comes and sits in his assembly hall, his whole army gathers there. Or as when, hearing that Indra is seated, he becomes surrounded by the groups of gods. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. thank you for coming. I hope you come again.